Police cars revolving light braking. Shane van Gisbergen shatters NASCAR record, then drops bombshell that stunned the field. Saturday night. The garage is empty. Shane van Gisbergen sits alone with the car sheet in front of him, and he already knows something the rest of the paddock doesn't. He just told the media his cup car is subpar. He isn't lying to reporters. He's lying to himself, because in less than 24 hours, he's going to win anyway. Then it happens. He beats a record that stood for over a decade. He holds off a hungry challenger by less than 0.4 of a second. And he makes the sport's newest tournament favorite look foolish for ever underestimating him. How does a driver call his own car broken, and then dominate like it's the best machine on the track? That contradiction is where this story begins. It starts Saturday at the Pit Boss 250. Shane van Gisbergen doesn't just win, he controls the entire race, leading 66 of 79 laps from pole to checkered flag. Buried inside that dominant run is a number that changes NASCAR history. This is his 6th Xfinity Series win, and it pushes him past Marcos Ambrose as the most successful foreign-born driver in series history. Ambrose needed 77 starts to reach that mark. Van Gisbergen did it in just 39. And here's where our channel, NASCAR Track Report, needs your help. We're closing in on 500 subscribers, and every single one of you gets us closer. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, drop a like, leave a comment, and share this video with another NASCAR fan. Your support directly shapes the kind of breakdowns we're able to bring you. The deeper we dig, the better this channel gets, and that only happens with you in our corner. Now, back to Sonoma. Instead of celebrating a historic milestone, Van Gisbergen downplays it almost immediately. In his own words, "Sorry, it wasn't the most exciting. I guess boring's good when you're the one leading." A driver who just made history, calling his own race boring. That's not humility. That's something else, and the field is about to find out what. Not everyone walks away from Saturday quietly. Connor Zilisch fought back through the field not once, but twice, and still couldn't catch him. Connor Zilisch said he did everything right, but sometimes the car in front is just too strong. Two different reactions to the same race, one driver brushing off history, another admitting he had no answer for it. Then comes the moment that flips the entire story. Fresh off a historic win, in the media room, Van Gisbergen throws cold water on his own chances for Sunday. He tells reporters, "My car was pretty subpar, to put it nicely." A driver who just set a record, calling his own equipment inadequate less than a day before the Cup race. Is this humility? Is this sandbagging? Or is there a real problem hiding under the hood? Nobody in that media room gets an answer. Neither do we, not yet. Because here's the number that turns his own words upside down. Just 1 year earlier, at this exact track, Van Gisbergen led 97 of 110 laps in the 2025 Cup race at Sonoma. That means even a version of his car that he personally calls subpar has, historically, been dominant enough to lap the field. So which is it, a genuine mechanical problem, or a driver quietly setting expectations before delivering anyway? His own follow-up comment suggests the second option. "We've had bad cars before and made them come alive on Sunday. I'm pretty confident my guys can make it better." That's not the language of a driver worried about losing. That's the language of a driver who already knows what Sunday is going to look like, and wants the field to underestimate him first. Sunday arrives, and the subpar car is suddenly good enough to fight for the win. Late in the race, Chase Briscoe closes hard, and by turn 11, the gap is nearly gone. Contact is close. The margin at the finish comes down to 0.357 seconds, one of the tightest finishes of the year. Van Gisbergen's reaction afterward is telling. The 19 was coming. He was really, really good, and I rat out at the end. Even in victory, he's crediting the pressure that almost cost him the win. On the other side of that battle, Chase Briscoe isn't talking about the car he was chasing, he's talking about himself. I'm just frustrated with myself. I about crashed. If I don't make that mistake, I'm probably ahead of him at the end. A driver who came within 0.4 of a second of stealing the win, walking away angrier at his own mistake than satisfied with the effort. That frustration doesn't get resolved here. It just sits. And while one battle ends on the track, another one is still simmering off it. Enter Ryan Preece. This isn't new backstory, it's an active, unresolved feud. It goes back to window gestures at Pocono, followed by 2 separate contact incidents in San Diego. Van Gisbergen isn't shying away from it either. Asked about the tension, he said, "I see he's been getting pretty lippy online, so that's a little fun. He threw a move on me and half-spun me, so I got him back." At Sonoma, the scoreboard tilts further in his favor, he finishes first, Preece finishes 8th. But a bigger points gap doesn't mean the rivalry is cooling off. If anything, it's escalating, and both drivers know the next road course is coming. Meanwhile, a completely different storyline is unfolding elsewhere in the standings, one that reshapes the entire playoff picture. Tyler Reddick, the reigning in-season challenge champion and the tournament's #1 seed, is eliminated in round 1 after a power steering failure. This marks the second consecutive year the top seed has gone out early in this format. While the favorite crashes out of the tournament, Van Gisbergen is doing the opposite, climbing back above the playoff cut line just 1 week after being wrecked out of the San Diego race entirely. There's one more number tying this weekend together. With this Sonoma win, Van Gisbergen now sits tied with Tony Stewart at 8 career road course victories, just 1 behind Jeff Gordon's record of 9. A record he called out himself, chasing a legend, 1 road course at a time. So where does that leave things heading into the next stretch of the season? Van Gisbergen is back above the cut line. The Preece rivalry is still unresolved and getting louder. Reddick's tournament run is over before it really started. And the next road course isn't for weeks, plenty of time for all of this to boil over. Was that subpar comment genuine concern, or was it Shane Van Gisbergen playing mental games with a field that's already struggling to keep up with him? Drop your take in the comments below, and if you think we missed an angle, tell us there too. Share this video with a NASCAR fan who needs to see this breakdown. If you enjoy real NASCAR breakdowns like this, you'll like what's coming next.